everybody, so today we're here with a video basically recapping what's coming up in the upcoming 2018 iPhones. There's still like a lot we don't know about what these phones are going to have, but there's a couple things that have hit the rumor mill and are kind of circulating around a little bit that I'd like to kind of go into and talk about. So basically the rumors are already circulating about what kind of iPhone we're going to see here in the fall. So basically what we're going to see here is there's going to be three probably iPhones. The first two are going to basically be the iPhone 10 and then a bigger version of the iPhone 10 that we're going to see in the fall. We're also going to see a more of a LCD-based iPhone. It's going to be cheaper, but still have the same form factor of the iPhone 10 form factor. It's just going to be cheaper, have an LCD screen, and it'll be great for those people that are looking to spend more, maybe $600 to $700 on a phone, and aren't willing to shell out the almost $1,000, $1,400 price range for a phone these days. So it looks like in the fall, the iPhones will be shifting to all Face ID, Touch ID. It's looking like it's going to be completely gone. All these phones are going to have sort of like a little notch at the top. Some of this notch, the notch is going to be bigger than other phones, but we're going to see a notch at the top of the phone. It's going to be the new way to biometrically unlock your phone. And like Touch ID, it's great, and I really wish Apple would put it underneath the display of the phone. And some phones that have been coming out now are showing that it is indeed possible. But for the most part, it looks like Apple's moving into the future of Face ID for this year's iPhones that are coming out, at least in the fall. The new chip inside the phone is going to be faster, and it's going to be more power efficient. TMSC, the iPhone supplier for the past couple years of these chips, is using the new 7 nanometer process to make these chips. And it's really, these chips are getting so smaller and smaller, and Apple just keeps raising the bar in terms of performance year after year. And this year is really going to be no exception. So for the design of these phones, we're looking at more of a bezel-less, all-screen form factor. This is even going to be true of the budget smartphone as a whole, as Apple moves towards this minimalistic future that we've all been dreaming of. And this leads me to talking more about the actual naming scheme behind these phones. It's something that we're not quite sure what it's going to be. Is it going to be the iPhone 9? Is it going to be like the iPhone XL? Is it going to be something completely different? I'm going with the fact that it's going to be something completely different, just because of the fact that the naming scheme has gotten so confusing already that now it would make sense for Apple to kind of reinvent that a little bit and make it so that it's more easily understandable for consumers. In general, these new phones are going to basically be the same iPhone 10 with a spec bump, camera increases, and just an overall generally faster phone. There has been some parts that have leaked that do show that bigger screen on the bigger iPhone, and as well as the smaller LCD phone, it's going to be more of a stripped down, more of a budget phone, so it's not going to have your wireless charging. It's only going to have like one single camera on the back. It can be made out of metal, so again, it doesn't have that wireless charging. And it'll come in at a little bit of a cheaper price point. Now, one thing to note that I think is kind of cool about this budget phone is that Apple's trying to offer the iPhone 10 that we all loved from this year, but sans the $1,000 price tag and bringing that back down to a little bit more reasonable level here, more at around $600 to $700. So that's basically all we know so far about the 2018 iPhones that are going to be coming out this fall. We'll still have to wait a couple months before we see more of leaks that happen over the summer about different parts, different specifications, more of what Apple's trying to do under the hood. This is, in my opinion, going to be more of a small spec bump upgrade rather than like a full-on brand new phone that we got with the iPhone 10. But that does bring me to some things that we will be finding out next week if you're watching this video before WWDC, and that's more talking about the software that's coming. We're going to get iOS 12, we're going to get the new version of macOS, new version of tvOS, and a new version of watchOS. Apple's going to preview that at their Worldwide Developers Conference. That should be pretty exciting because sometimes in the code of iOS 12 there are leaks out, specifications about future products, things that are coming in the future, that sort of stuff. So I'm excited about that. And in particular, iOS 12, if I had to have a wish list of like features to have, Siri would be number one. Siri sucks. It's awful. It's the reason why the HomePod isn't doing as well as it could be, in my opinion. Google Assistant is really making huge strides, and I think Apple needs to be able to catch up with that. That'd be great. Overall, it sounds like they're going to be more of a bug fix upgrade for iOS 12. Again, looking forward to that too, kind of like polishing off the edges a little bit, bringing iOS back to where it was, more along the iOS 6 timeframe. Things were just like, rock solid, wasn't a ton of bugs. Really looking forward to that. And if any other like feature management requests, for me personally, notifications on iOS is a huge thing that just like needs to be revamped, redone, and really brought into more of a focus about how, I see the phone, how it interacts with me in my life. And it'll be interesting to see Apple in the way that they take this concept of artificial intelligence and properly integrating, user data without compromising on privacy, since that's something that Apple's been, really, harping on for the past, couple years or so. So I'm really looking forward to that. Of course, new updates to watchOS, macOS. Apple usually does a pretty good job with that. Come to expect that for year after year at WWDC. So in short, pretty excited. iPhone's really excited for those too. So hopefully that gets you up to speed with what's coming up in the wide world of Apple. Now I'm going to send it over to John for a brief Q&A.
So before we end this video, we wanted to just take a couple seconds and answer some of the questions that you guys asked us on our Instagram. So the first one was from Calvin, and he asked, what motivated you to start a YouTube channel? So it's a pretty short answer. It's basically that my roommates and I really interested in technology, and I've always been passionate about talking to people about what I'm passionate about. So finding something that I enjoy and then being able to present it to other people in a way that's enjoyable to me and hopefully enjoyable to them, just producing content that people are going to watch has been something that I've been working towards and trying to build my repertoire in ever since I started the channel. So Noah asked, are all 3 of the new iPhones going to be OLED? So we're not actually clear on that. There have been reports that say that the lowest budget one is going to be an LCD screen rather than an OLED screen, to probably drop $100 to $200 in price. But there is a leak that came out this morning from Apple Insider that said that all 3 are going to be OLED, and if there are more than 3, that one could possibly have LCD. So the third question comes from Rich, and he asks, buy me one? No? And then Corey asks, hey, what was the recipe for that lasagna? Hey Google, get me a recipe for lasagna.
Okay, I've got a recipe called World's Best Lasagna from All Recipes. This recipe serves 12 and takes about 3 hours and 15 minutes to make. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Great, let's get started. Would you like to prepare the ingredients or skip to the instructions?
Prepare the ingredients.
There are 21 ingredients. I'll read them one by one. Let me know when you're ready for the next ingredient. The first ingredient is 1 pound sweet Italian sausage.